And how you doing, everyone? Good to see you. This is Reverend Jess Foglesong from touchedbygodchurch.com, and we're online. Good to see you. And our subject today is quite a very interesting one. It's called Like Salmon, Whales, and Birds, We Are Migrating Home Too. Let's take a look at it, all right? Well, you know, I've been observing eagles the past few months, a pair of bald eagles and their hatchlings in the woods of a North Carolina botanical gardens. It was a study by scientists, and I decided to look in daily on the internet. And it was an amazing experience to watch the interaction of the male and female eagles, and just watch them care and provide for their offspring, and so forth. And but every day, I would check in to the website's live camera, and there they were either sitting or lying, waiting for their next visit by mom or dad, with fresh, live fish or lizard. And as the weeks passed, then months went by, they grew into fledglings and then juveniles. Then one day, two of them became mature and old enough to spread their wings and fly to parts unknown, while the youngest lingered nearby, staying close to the nest, waiting for her turn to take up the yearning to find its place in life. Well, actually, scientists had attached a small receiver to all three eagles, and now is tracking all of them via satellite. And the oldest juvenile eagle has covered hundreds of miles since leaving the nest. The other two will certainly follow suit. Nature's calling. Nature's calling. The nephesh, which is a Hebrew term for the soul of animal life, allowing animals' choice, strongly dictated by the instinct and inclination. And you can find this in Genesis 1, verse 21. Take a look at that. Now, nearly all species of the animal world, migrate. Nearly all species do. Some migrate thousands of miles back to their original place of birth. Whales, various species of fish, such as salmon, birds, and even snakes, and ocean crabs migrate. There seemed to be this continuous movement back to its place of origin. So why do salmon, after hatching in shallow streams of various rivers, swim downstream into the great oceans, where they can mature for several years, 3 to 4 years, then miraculously find the exact same river, swim upstream against great odds and obstacles, returning to the same spawning grounds, then perish after depositing its eggs or sperm for a new generation of offsprings? Why do swift swallows travel endless, difficult miles to return to Capistrano? Why do millions of beautiful monarch butterflies flutter thousands of treacherous distances back to their place of birth? What is it that God is illustrating to us? Is it that He is describing our own migration? Our migration back home to Him. Now He placed within us the neshama, which is Hebrew for the soul of humankind. We were created by him and along the way became lost in sin, only to be found again and invited back into his realm. And it is the neshama that separates us from the animals, that instills choice and free will to return home to his loving arms. God illustrates this story over and over again in the multitude of species that migrate. Butterflies, geese, ducks, swallows, and many species of birds. Thousands of animals make that trip. And it turns out that we too are in the process of making our way home, just as the Israelites did in the Old Testament, when they left their homeland and went to Egypt, became enslaved by the pharaohs, released through a savior named Moses, wandered through the great wilderness, and finally crossing the threshold of the Jordan River to the land of milk and honey, a land set forth by the true Savior, Yahweh, God himself. Illustrations by God of lost human race, but found again. So, we are on a journey. We are on our way home. All right, let's go ahead and stop right here, and we can continue again in another lesson. And thanks for dropping in. This is Reverend Jess Foglesong from touchedbygodchurch.com online, as well as Touched by God Church on Facebook. World Ministries on Facebook. Touched by God Church, World Ministries on Facebook. Stop in and take a look and comment if you like. But for now, God's blessings to you and yours today.